first thing you got to start with when you're doing lead generation marketing, I'll just start with the basics, is you got to know who your customer is. Target market. If you ever get on a phone call with me and you want me to troubleshoot a campaign, the very first thing I'm going to say is who's the customer? Who are we talking to? Tell me about the list. Tell me about the audience, and who are we trying to attract? Because everything revolves around that. So your target market is a group of customers with shared demographics and psychographics who have been identified as the most likely buyers of your products or services. Demographics being things like city, size, number of users, maybe the technology they are using, industry, right? Maybe years in business. And psychographics is a little bit tougher. It's a little more advanced topic, but these are the things that, birds of a feather flock together. So my psychographic for my best customer is somebody with honest ambition. Keyword being honest. Because there's a lot of people who want more money, and they will take it if you will just drop it off like Santa Claus and say, here you go, here's some more customers and here's some more money. They'll be happy to do that. Not many people are willing to work for it, okay? So they have to have an honest ambition. So I do far better if I go speak at an event, because people go to events, tend to have more honest ambition, like all of you here, and they become better customers for me. So your business can have more than one business or client profile. We call them segments, all right? So for example, a doctor at a small medical practice are going to have different needs, budgets, and concerns and buying criteria for outsourced IT services than most all other businesses. You want to talk to a doctor's office a little bit differently than you would talk to like a manufacturing firm, a real estate firm, etc. All right? So your target market is your generic group of customers, and you might have segments. And target markets and lists can also be segmented by behavior. They can be segmented by source, years in business. So this is an example of a target market. Pretty obvious. You could say I want all privately owned businesses that are also located within a 30-mile drive of Franklin, maybe not Franklin, wherever you are, Franklin, Tennessee, have at least 10 or more employees that use a laptop and outsource some or all of their IT support. Okay, so that is an example of a target market. Now, you can segment that, you could tighten that up. Now, you could say, I want everybody who's that, and they have to be a dental practice, right? Or I want everybody who's all this, and they have to be, of a certain size, okay? So you might narrow that down, or you might expand it out, depending on how big of a TAM or total addressable market you want to target. Now, there's segments we could target, all right? So, or you might suppress. So you say, that's my target market, but maybe we are going to just target industries that are, just in medical and banking and finance, or et cetera. So these are segments of that target market, again, that you might say, this is the core target customer, or these are ones that we want to take out. Like maybe you don't want to target government. Maybe you don't want to target medical. Maybe you want to target all medical, all right? That's entirely up to you. Whether they have internal IT people or have no more than 3 internal people, that might be a segment that predominantly uses a certain type of technology or must comply with HIPAA, CMMC, or PCI, or some sort of compliance. These are all segments of a target market, or they could be your complete target market. Like for us, our target market are MSPs in English-speaking countries that our best customers are real segment, real target, sub 10 million in revenue. All right? That doesn't mean I don't have customers that are larger than 10 million. That doesn't mean I don't get leads from people who are outside of this industry. I mean, we have customers that are in telephony, that are in application development, that are SaaS companies. We have all of those. They're the minority. But our core customer who we want are MSPs. Right? So that's our core focus. And honestly, I could do a lot more. I could get a lot more customers if I would accept outside of that. But I just really don't want to target outside of the MSP industry because, like for example, I took a consulting day a couple months ago, and the only reason I did it was it was totally outside of this industry. And it's just somebody I liked, and I found their business interesting, so they paid me for a day consulting, and I accepted it. But I'm not going to be doing anything with that customer now. I mean, you got to understand, like I can't put them in Producers Club because they're not in the IT industry. So for me, I just want MSPs. But if you're in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and there's not a lot of dentists and lawyers and this, that, and you can't segment that way, you might have to go broader with your target market. If you're in LA, you're in Chicago, you might want to shrink it down. None is right or wrong, but you got to get clear on it. And I'll leave you with one thought on customers and who you target, and that is Dr. Nito Cobain. One of my favorite quotes from him is, "Who your customer is today is a piece of data, and who your customer should be is a piece of strategy." So you don't have to accept whoever you've got. You can invite different people to the party if you don't like them, all right? So that's your target market. You got to